Now we are going to start dealing with the actual capsule for the microphone. This is where all the money in your kit is really at. So never touch it this way. You'll actually be touching the diaphragm. And if you touch the diaphragm, it's going to bend a little bit and then it's just done. So don't touch it this way. You can only touch it from the sides or edges. There is a nice plastic edge here that you can use to kind of get a little bit of pressure on, but don't touch the metal center. So I'm just going to dip it over, and now I'm holding only the edges, and you can see right there is the diaphragm. And these back plates, this kit actually has 2 back plates, and we're going to have to actually tie them together here in just a second. So we've got the diaphragm, and we want to see if we can get it installed into our super saddle here. Just double checking. The whole alignment does look like it will work. So once I have lined up one of the holes, only holding the very edge, then I'm going to take my screw. I do recommend magnetic screwdrivers for this. And I'm going to very carefully line up and tighten up this screw. Not all the way tight. Give yourself a little wiggle room. Very careful to keep my fingers on the edge of it. Looks like my alignment on the other side is really nice. When dealing with this kind of precision screwdriver work, I would not hold my screwdriver way in the back because you have a lot less control. I'm actually keeping my fingers very close to the tip of it so that I maintain as much control of the screwdriver. If it were to slip for some reason, which would be a travesty at this point, if it were to hit the diaphragm or strike something wrong. So we're just hunting for that hole right now. Now is when you can tighten them both up. Okay, now that should be in there nice and firm. You'll notice you can, you got the 2 screws, one in either side of the super saddle. That's now holding this in very securely. And there are 2 holes left in the side, both here and here. Those are for your back plate wire. Now, some microphones will require 2 separate wires. Some will require just the one. For our benefit here, we are only going to need the one. So we have to tie the screws from both sides together in that orientation. So I'm actually going to kind of use the box it came in and let it rest just a second there. Got my 2 2mm screws, which are super tiny, and this is one of the clipped leads from one of the previous components that we added to the circuit board. Why do I want to have a clipped lead? Well, it's very good at conducting electricity. So if this is very good at conducting electricity, then lo and behold, when I put the two screws together and connect it with this, we should be good. So I'm going to take my round tipped screw or pliers, and I'm going to grip and twist. Now what I'm trying to do right there is just make a spot for the screw to actually go through the center of that, so it'll touch as much of the screw as possible. And then I'm just going to kind of come on over here to this side and do a similar thing, and then we'll check it. Ooh, that was a scary good guess right there. So if I've got this done correctly, and I think I've got it really close, then I should be able to put the screw through both of those, and it will make them connect to one another. That is the goal right now. We'll get just a little bit more bend in on that. And on top of that, we're going to have the back plate wire come down off of that. So there are several things that have to line up right now. And hopefully we're going to get them all held in place at the same time. Again, remember, precision with your screwdriver is important still. I'll go ahead and just barely get this screw started so that it's in there. Then I'm going to hook this around it. Give myself just a little bit more tension in there. Move my wire so it comes straight down. I'll take my second screw now. Hopefully put it through this. Whoa. Finicky. You just gotta go till you get it right. And we will. Actually gonna back this off just a smidge. Oop, came all the way out. I think I need to make my hook just slightly larger than what it was. So here we go again, from the top, y'all. Definitely one of those check and guess kind of moments. Okay, there we go. We got that one hooked in nice and tight. I'm just going to take my pliers and very carefully pull this lead up and under both screws nice and good. Tighten it down as well. We don't want it to lose any grip. Then I'm going to take my wire clippers and very carefully trim that excess off, set it back to the side. Now, here is what I have created. Those two screws have that lead curled up underneath them, and they're there. Now, the last thing I need to do is remember how I said that I was going to run my wiring. So you just look and make sure you find the little divot. That's the back. So the rear diaphragm, I said I wanted to go through this hole right here. So that's going to go through that hole and come out. The back plate, I said I wanted to go through this hole. And it comes out and down and is now through. And the front diaphragm, we want to go through this plate, come down through, and we are set with that.